Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. What time is it over there? Over the palm
6 p.m.
there?
Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern. Oh no, here we go. What time is it over there, Ben? I can't remember the British stuff.
It's midnight. I'm in the Czech Republic. It's midnight. It's 11 p.m. in the UK, where I am not this week.
Got it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that terrible intro out of the way, welcome to another episode of Camera and Flask. We do this every single week here on Jem Schofield's channel, the C47. Very excited to have people here. We got Alex Miner in the chat, and he's going nuts. So welcome, everybody. Gentlemen. Okay, cool. It's delayed for me. How's it going, Harrison? Good to see you. Jem, Ben, how are we doing this week?
I think we're doing well.
Good.
Tell us where you are there, Jem.
Me?
Yeah, with your fancy
my fancy. It's ridiculous.
with your big furry ass.
Well, it's not my big furry ass. It's I don't know whose ass it is, but I am at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. Prior to going on a 10-day production in Atlanta starting on Sunday, my friend is turning, believe it or not, 50 years old. And we are here to celebrate his birthday. And this trip was booked a long time ago. So my wife and I are here. We're hanging out. We're here for 2 nights. We're going to another Red Rock Casino Spa and Resort for another 2 nights. And then I come back for like 10 hours. And then I get back on another plane and go to Atlanta. So here I am doing my thing. Yeah, we go.
Excellent.
And
so well, I was just going to say, are you fresh, Jem? We all know Vegas, Jem. Are you all right?
I'm all right.
Going well so far.
It's like 105, and I was at the pool for the last 3 hours, so there might have been some, you
want to be careful. You make sure you still are able to be served in Shake Shack. You don't want to get.
Oh yeah. I might have to
take again.
Dude, I'm going to Lotus Siam tonight. Lotus Siam coming up. I am 4 hours away from Lotus. Okay,
that's 3 times this year. Jeepers.
I know, it's ridiculous.
And Ben with the stunning light.
Well, thank you.
Look at that highlight as he looks.
He actually looks like, I said it when we were just setting up. He looks like he's doing an advertisement, as we would say in the UK, for a shaving cream company, or maybe like what, underarm deodorant or something like that. It's just, he looks stunning. I mean, it's just ridiculous. What light are you using and what's happening? You're not in your kitchen.
I am in my kitchen. I've just reversed. I'm on the other side of my table looking back towards the living room. All I'm using is the Aperture, the A7 bounced into some beadboard. That's it.
Next week, I'm going to totally steal that idea because I've been using like a little light above me, or it's a big-ish light. Trying to get like a permanent, easy to set up, quick, permanent-ish. But ever since I switched the entire office up to IMAX and this whole new thing, I've never been happy. So,
Caleb, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It says this Hangout on air is live. Hangouts on air is going away later this year. For quick streaming, try youtube.com/webcam. What is all that about? Do you know anything about that?
I know. I'm gonna have to look into that. I know they have their own streaming setup. And I knew they're getting rid of just Hangouts on their own, like if we weren't live. But I don't remember hearing anything about this going away.
Hey, Ben, can you just do you know what a squinch is? Can you make a squinch? Can you just like look at camera and do like a little with your eyes? Because Sam's saying that the lighting is by Peter Hurley, so you have to kind of like do like a little, do like a squinchmeister. Do like you're kind of like just squint a little.
Ready?
Like look right to no. Look right to camera, and it's kind of like. Get it, just a little bit of a squinch. You got to squinch
like is that good squinch? What am I trying to convey?
Yeah. So you're
little
squinch,
sensual, and I'm the best.
Oh, sensual. Okay.
But right to camera. No, right. No, you're not. No, to us. Oh, no.
Okay.
That's a little creepy. All right, that got a little serial.
All right. Here we go. All right. For anyone wondering what just happened there, just Google Peter Hurley and go to Google Images, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Right,
so let's get on with the show a little bit. First of all, a lot of other people showed up, so thanks for hanging out, guys. We got Larry, Guillermo. Did I get it right?
Oh, Guillermo. Yeah, just
Guillermo.
call him Memo.
Sam.
Memo Montesino.
Memo. Dean, Andre, and others. Master Stroke Media. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so what are we drinking this week? Let's start with Ben. We'll get through that and dive in.
Okay, so I only realized this evening that I didn't actually have anything particularly special in. I didn't want to keep drinking the same old stuff. So what I have found in my cupboard, see if the AF will pick up on this.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Are you shooting at like a 1.4? Are you at a 1.4 right now? What's happening?
I'm at a 1.8 right now.
Oh, for God's
I'm
sake.
at a 1.8.
Go ahead.
So this is the Fernet stock, and this is Hrushka, which is pear. This is really good, actually. This is something that someone gave me for watching their house, one of the neighbors, and yeah, it's
Fernet stock. And it's
Fernet stock.
Is it like a liqueur?
It's 30%, so it's not quite full on spirit, but it's kind of stronger than the normal liqueur type things.
Over
it's
ice
really good.
Or just neat?
No, I'm having it over ice. So I have a glass full of rocks, and it's very good with that. It's also really good with apple juice.
Just have a little, why don't you?
It's all ice, mate, honestly.
Fridge is right there. Just grab a little,
It's really hot here. I need to cool down. All right. So that's
How
me.
about yourself, Ben or Jem? What do we got? What do we got out there in Vegas?
Ben legs. What do we call it from the what was that? Okay.
Ben legs.
Ben legs. I'm sorry, I don't have a tripod and they can't be in this nice, sexy framing and stuff. I've been down by the pool. It's about a 103 to 108 here in Vegas, and but it's a dry heat, and so we're by the pool, and I have switched to this is a Mexican mule. So this is Casamigos. Casamigos is a tequila that was created by George Clooney and a couple of his mates. They just sold the company for about $1 billion. And they only created this tequila, by the way, Casamigos, for themselves originally. And then they basically were in Mexico over and over again. And they said, oh, let's, like we love tequila. Let's find a tequila that we really like. Oh, we'll just buy a company and we'll just have our friend figure out how to make tequila for us. And then they got the formula right. And then about, I don't know how many years later, somebody said from the factory, probably their other partner, hey, listen, guys, if you want to continue to make this tequila, you either have to start a company or you can't do it anymore because you're up to like 1,000 bottles a year. And they were just making it for themselves and I guess giving it away to friends and whatever they were doing. And so they made Casamigos. It's a very good tequila. And I'm drinking it with ginger beer. And let's keep going.
In a very classy plastic cup.
Well, I'm by the pool. It's Vegas. They don't have any glass.
No glass for the pool. That's right.
That's what I'm drinking. And I might have had some other drinks before that, but who's counting? A few, maybe. A lot.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, this week, let me just get this situated here.
Really a lot.
Oh,
like very many.
Do one of these real quick.
Extreme close up. And we go.
Not at a 1.8. I would say, are you like at a 2.8 right now? I'd say you're
We're
like a 2 or 2.8.
F2 on a Super 35.
Okay, 2 to 2.8. Okay.
So well, good eye. So this week we're going back to the budget hunt, the great budget hunt, trying to find the cheapest,
empty bottle,
acceptable empty bottle possible.
Slowly bring it up into the frame. Slowly bring it up into the frame.
It's gonna be.
No, turn it, rotate it. That's about right. That's a Caleb bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that you started this company with George Clooney. I think that's why they were going to 1,000 bottles a year. Okay. Jeez, man.
So this week we're doing Evan Williams, $20 for a 1.75 liter bottle. That means the
1.75 liter bottle.
Correct.
That is correct.
So it is.
When did you buy this, by the way?
Sam's Club.
Costco.
When?
Costco. When? A while ago.
Like yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No. So that is what I'm drinking this week, gentlemen.
Let's
do everybody else. Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.
Cheers.
Ben, you're the best at a 1.8. No, let's get him focused, Ben. Come on. Middle of the frame. There we go. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Come on.
No. Too close.
There we go.
There
There we go.
Ah, very nice. Okay.
Great.
Oh wow, that was gorgeous, Ben.
Very nice.
Man, gonna make me.
Yes, and
game
let's
over
see.
here.
David is having a Bombay Sapphire Gin with a Schweppes Club Soda, and I don't know about the rest of the stuff. I don't think you can have a sexy disco lime slice, but that's okay. And what else? That's it.
Hangouts
Anybody
being
else?
phased out, Leary says, but I think that again, I don't think that applies to live. I could be wrong though.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah. So let's do
least
this,
favorite
shall we?
bourbon. Oh, there's so many. Okay, let's go.
So good. All right. Now, onto our topic. We're 11 minutes in. This week, we tasked ourselves with coming up with the 3 least favorite gear items that we have owned, have used, or still own for some reason.
Okay.
Can I just make a point though quickly? That when
Yes,
you say
you
that
may.
we tasked ourselves.
I did.
Caleb did.
Yeah.
This is my
be
idea.
And also, there's some strange stuff going on here because normally you are Mr. Hyper Positive. Everything is awesome. That's kind of you're very, a very positive person. And I know that you've had, I must say, many happy returns that you have turned 30, and I think you've become slightly jaded since hitting this big milestone. I was quite surprised when I got this. It's now we've gone to this.
Well, there
slightly more negative.
wasn't ever an episode about a particular audio company that he ever did that would have been the beginning of the end for that. Would there have been, Ben? That's enough. I didn't say anything. I'm using my Wireless Go right now, and Caleb and I both agree that it's a fantastic product.
I would tend to agree. Got one right here.
I like it very much.
Okay.
Very good.
Sorry.
You're so
But,
cheeky
yes.
right
Well,
now.
good point. My wife actually mentioned that too. As I've kind of become more of a, instead of just, oh yeah, I'll just go along with the flow. I'm like, actually, no.
You're a realist.
I asked for a not light beer, sir. Instead of just going along with all, yeah. Anyway,
Very nice.
let's
wait, hold on. Did you see my text to you, Caleb, for Father's Day? What I got, by the way. Speaking of drinking.
Oh, I saw the car. I saw the little and never got to it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
No, my wife got me another bottle of Lagavulin 16, so it's a beautiful thing. Okay.
That is gorgeous.
Very nice.
Wonderful thing.
Very nice.
Right. So, Jem, how many did you come up with?
I came up with 3 and then 3 honorable mentions. Is that okay?
Beautiful.
And
Okay.
they're categories. They're not specific brands, but they're categories of products, except for one.
Okay.
The first one is a particular brand. Jeez. And then all of the other ones are, watch yourself, okay? And the other ones are just category of product, which I have come to not necessarily love.
Interesting. Category of product. That would have been a good one to consider. So let's do this. Ben, we're going to start with you. We'll each do one. We'll just keep going through. How about that?
All right. Okay.
All right, Ben.
So the one product which I have bought various models of over the years and been nothing but disappointed all the time, GoPros. I absolutely hate GoPros. I've bought them for things that I've really needed them for, and at the time there was not really much else on the market. But the footage wise, when you go and you look at all the sample footage and then all of that stuff, less so now, but certainly when they started, everything was in bright blue, kind of deserty sort of light, insane amounts of light. And then when you go and use that in the UK, and then just this horrible noisy image, I've always hated the image of them. They've always been unreliable for me. I've never had one that hasn't broken, failed to stop halfway through a clip. I hate every single thing about them.
Well, I would like to say something about GoPros, which is that I have impulse bought 2 or 3 GoPros in the years and over the years, and they're just they're sitting in drawers. They're not used.
I would pile onto that as well.
Maybe twice. Yeah, I would just say that they're kind of not part of my arsenal, and I thought they would be, and I've just been also very disappointed with them.
Yeah. Unless you're like a skier, I guess, or snowboarder.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going audio only for a second, guys. Hold on. Just got to handle something.
No problem.
I dread to think what it is that he needs to be handling that he's had to turn his camera off for.
No, it's business. No. I got an email.
He left his microphone on, though.
No, I got an email from a client, and I have to send a quick email, and I'm trying to handle something to nip something in the bud that is for a client that they're doing something weird. So I'll keep switching you guys. I'm right here.
Jem, and I'll take over here on this one.
Okay.
Or
all right.
my pick. So I'm gonna start with least controversial and work my way up. So hopefully these companies aren't watching, but I do have a good thing to say about each of them afterward. So I'm pulling up my list because I put it in Evernote. Here we go. Okay.
Oh,
we're gonna start with the Benro S6 tripod and several of Benro's tripods. So Benro, if you don't know, they make really solid now tripods that are a great alternative to companies like Manfrotto, which give or take a couple light stands and some other stuff. In general, I'm just not interested in Manfrotto tripods. And the S6 is super popular when it came out and still is. And I'm going to say it's not great. It's pretty bad. And a lot of tripods kind of get lumped into this. And it's that they have really nice fluid tilts, but their pans are crazy zippy and you can't adjust the drag. So we're talking like that 300 and under kind of budget, maybe even 400 and under, and some brands 500 and under. So the S6, I actually own it because at the time it was kind of the best option for my budget, but now there's a gazillion options. So I wouldn't believe the hype. I would skip that and get an S8 for like $60 more. That has
same company. Okay, yeah.
Yep, same company. So again, Benro is wonderful. They make some great stuff, but skip that thing. And a lot of those cheapo, pretty much, I would avoid. Benro is kind of a larger brand now. They used to be pretty small, but them Manfrotto, skip their cheaper heads. They're just not gonna cut it. I actually think you should get cheaper tripods or jump to that kind of $400 to $500 range.
Got it.
So yeah, the BV series from Benro is great. Right now, I'm becoming a big E-Image fan. Their GH06 head is incredible. David and Stanford, I still have a 10-year-old head from them that has no drag control, and it's wonderful. It's just right. So yeah, that's kind of my pick is kind of medium tier. I feel like get something really cheap or get something nice. That awkward $200 to $300 can be interesting from certain brands.
That's funny. From a fluid head standpoint, and I know I'm going to talk about something that goes to the next price point. The DS10 from Miller is also it's a head. No, I'm going to go the opposite way. It's got that right.
Your audio just got kind of
Is it all messed up again?
Yeah.
You know that amazing product from that company you have just on about?
Last time you unplugged it and plugged it back in, right?
No, that's still bad.
It's worse now. Try spinning it, rotating it. That's better. Say something.
I'm going to go internal microphone for a second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it's not great. You guys are such a pain in my ass. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
That's amazing.
You guys are amazing. Hold on. Can you hear me or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're great. It sounds great.
Yeah, sure it does. That's so facetious. Okay, here we go. So, wait, I'm going to switch back to that for a second, just to keep it interesting for the live stream. One more time. How's that?
No,
better.
It's okay again.
Oh, it's good again.
Okay, we're all good. Okay, so here we go. DS10 from Miller. Stop it! You guys are ridiculous. Is actually kind of that sweet spot for me. Not for large systems, but the DS20, no, and some other heads, no. But it's just something about the way the drag works on that particular head that if I'm not going to a larger camera system, I feel that I prefer, and Digital Filmmaker says that the Miller Air is so much more user-friendly than the Sockler Ace, but I like the DS10 still more than the Miller Air. I like the head more than that. And I know it's newer. That's just the way I feel about it.
Same. Love that head. That's my main head. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
Okay.
good. I didn't
Great.
make a noise. Okay, good.
You
I like
idiots.
that.
You're
You're ridiculous.
unbelievable.
You are a ridiculous human being, Caleb Pike.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
So, Jem, what's your pick? Least
Okay,
favorite gear item. Go.
So this is the first one I'm going to say is my least favorite gear item, which I am naming a brand,
Oh,
which
here we go.
is Sony 7506 headphones. I am not a big fan of those, and I own 2 pairs of those suckers.
Go like this,
and
Ben. Or like
Yeah.
this.
I know.
And I will tell you that I would take my Sennheiser HD 25s any day of the week over those 7506s. And
How much are those headphones though? The ones you're talking about?
$50 more. Let's just say $50. But I'm taking them any day of the week over that. I'll tell you one of the reasons why. They're both open air headphones,
right?
But the Sennheisers are definitely a lot more isolated in terms of external ambient noise. So why are you looking at me that way, Caleb? You're ridiculous. So they're both very flat frequency response. But I would say that if I'm out on location listening to audio because I'm not a sound recordist, or I am using them in post production, that I'll take the Sennys any day of the week over that. And I like to sport these little costs.
I get all that completely. I think
here we go.
My one thing with those would be that they do make you look like you have an enormous head.
These or the Sennheisers? Yes. Oh, I do have it. But hold on. Can I just clarify something? Like, let's just get this out of the way. And Caleb is right there with me, and I'm just bringing them into the mix. I have an enormous head. Okay,
and you're bald.
So when they make hats, this is like, if James Cameron needed to use somebody for a model for an alien head, this is it. So it is a humongous head. So there's nothing about these that are making my head humongous. My head is humongous. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
good. All right.
In other news, my head can't be palmed by people that can palm basketballs.
It cannot be palmed?
It cannot be palmed. It is a massive head. So, like, I buy big hats.
Yes.
And the snapbacks, I still can only use 2 of the little snap things.
Really?
It's ridiculous.
I have the opposite problem. Mine are like overlapping the other way. I can only use 2, but the things overlapped in.
Well, David can't wear the 7506s because his ears are too big.
Wow.
There you go.
Or his ear is big. My ear is pretty big, but my head is ginormous.
A quick side note before we move on to number 2. I just got these, the Audio-Technica BT50s.
No, excuse me.
Oh my goodness. Incredible.
Really? But are they bassy, or are
they are way more bassy than 7506s, but they're the best Bluetooth low latency headphones.
So for entertainment purposes.
And I would still use them for I wouldn't like do my audio work with them, but if you want to like get rid of this and take a break and just kind of sit back, like a standing desk, and this feels like you're Iron Man.
Okay, so speaking of Iron Man, that's just a bad segue. Kyle says, I just got here, and are we going by category or random? Totally random, Kyle.
Yes.
I
want to add to that.
Tell me.
Real quick, everybody, please, I would love to see and hear what your least favorite gear is as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. Definitely let us know. So I want to hear what sucks in your life, or what has sucked. What? Oh,
Travis says to upgrade. Travis is audio guy, by the way, and he's been with us since the early days. And he said, if you've been using the stock 7506 ear cups, upgrade! ! So maybe there's something to be said about that. I'm excited about that. Jem's head is basically the monolith of Space Odyssey. Thank you, 360 grad. And then just so I can balance things, Wannabe Film says, my head is used as a 1-to-1 scale model for the Macy's Thanksgiving parade balloons. Okay,
there you
very
go.
Exciting.
Perfect.
Very, man, we are digressing here.
All right, I love it. And everyone else who's turning it up, welcome. So we just finished our first thing we least like. Now
Yeah.
we're moving on to round 2. So Ben, what's another one? Hit us.
All right, let's go.
I think
Hold on.
probably the most amount of money that I've ever spent on a product that turned out to be of no real benefit to me whatsoever. Trash can Mac Pro.
Ooh.
Wow, that's cold.
Yeah. So I kind of got doubly shafted by Apple, I think, that year. There was the disastrous Final Cut Pro.
Oh man, you're right.
Evolution. So they went over to the X. It was crashing all the time, and I stuck with that thing for a year. I then bought that, and then I moved over. So I moved over to the software, or I kept using that. Struggled. It crashed all the time, and then I moved over to Premiere, and then I bought the Mac Pro at, I can't even remember what I paid for that thing, $5,000, something like that, a lot. And the GPUs just weren't compatible really with any of the Adobe stuff in terms of that they weren't really CUDA. So the whole thing was just a disaster. And yeah, it was a lot of money. And thankfully, I didn't actually lose that much money on it in the end, because I did eventually manage to sell it for not a huge loss. But I think that product is something that was an awful lot of money, and I was expecting to speed things up enormously for me. I didn't, but I think, you know, had I waited, had I stuck with Final Cut when they sorted it out eventually, I think it would have been fine. But personally, that's probably the product that I felt most let down by. And was also the start of my kind of the beginning of the end with me and Apple, really.
Right on.
Now, Slavic says something interesting. He says probably the worst product ever was the Sony FS5. Sorry, not sorry. That's interesting. I would, you know, it's funny because that is a very polarizing camera. I would say personally for me that in the sub $10,000 camera range, it probably is my least favorite camera. And a lot of it just has to do with functionality and form factor. It's not that the form factor is wrong. There's just something about using that camera that just doesn't quite jive for me. It's kind of like they put everything in the A7 series in terms of the internal guts into a shrunken down version of the FS7 in terms of a camera body. And it's a funny little combo. The FS5 II is slightly better, but it just doesn't tick all the boxes for me. And I would much rather just say, let's save up a little bit more money and go for an FS7 series, which I actually like very much.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't really shot with it much. I know out of the box day one, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
If you're getting into the raw workflow, that's a little different now.
Different.
Maybe,
yeah,
but,
that's different for sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay,
It's
so
worst image quality.
So that's been. I guess we'll keep going the way we were. So I'll go next, and then we'll jump into Jem. So
okay,
my number 2 is the Canon 50mm f1.4.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Not the 1.8, the 1.4.
The 1.4. Garbage lens.
Interesting.
It looks amazing. Like it's a great lens if you're just looking at images shot with it. But if ever there was a lens to get a Mark II, I think that's the one that needs it. Would you agree? And here's my reasons why.
Okay. I'm listening.
It sounds like, what's a good analogy here? It sounds like one of the Transformers turned into a baby and used trains in a train yard as toys.
Wait a second, Caleb. Are you the one that's in Vegas and that's been at the pool for a few hours, or am I the one that's been in Vegas?
It's, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have used this lens, right?
Yeah, it's crunchy, right?
Yeah.
It's scratchy. It's kind of like
very scratchy.
Yeah.
You try to actually do any manual focus on it, it's horrendous.
True.
And you might break it if you put a lens cap on without switching to infinity focus, because the front of the lens moves in and out.
Yes.
And there's all kinds of, you can find online all kinds of people. That's a regular occurrence where they're sending the lens back. So I appreciate that it's affordable for what it is, but I would love to see them do what they did with the 1.8, which is a Mark II. That would be, I mean, all they have to do is a slightly different ring, deal with the motors, or like bump the plastic so at least, you know, you can put a cap on it. I don't know, but I hated every time I had to use that lens.
Wait, what
And
is
I haven't
Slavic
owned
saying?
one forever.
Do you read Slavic? What is Slavic saying? This is by
by
far
far
my
my
favorite
favorite
lens.
lens.
Caleb 2012. Is that true, or is he just
That
taking
could
the
be
piss?
very true. That could totally be true, because I
You know,
owned one forever.
He's
and I just put up
Ukrainian,
with
so
it.
he can remember. The good thing for me is I can't really say anything about what you're talking about, Caleb, too much, because
Okay.
I've shot with the lens, but I've really it's been more the 1.8 because I have a 1.8.
Sure.
And
the
most of my 1.4s
the 1.82 is amazing. It's
1.8,
great for video. It's a wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful update. But again, the Mark I, have you used the Mark I of the 8,
No,
1.8?
not the 1.8. I own the one. I did own the 1.4.
It is bad. Because I came
Until
up
I
like
bounced it.
starting from nothing with the video stuff, and like I was all Canon and did the 1.8, did the 1.4. So anyway, that's my pick.
Caleb
love to see
started
them.
from nothing. He started from nothing with
Alternatives. I will say alternatives, and I wanted
Yeah.
to like follow all these up with alternatives. Sigma 50 millimeter, even the Yongnuo, the knockoff company that knocked off several Canon electronic lenses, they actually have done updates to their original knockoffs. Their original knockoffs were like 1-to-1 copies. I wouldn't be surprised if they use the same factory and everything. But now they're actually designing their own versions, and they have some pretty decent stuff now. So anyway.
Okay. I mean, interesting. I liked that lens, but I never really shot video with it. I had that as a stills lens and used it for several years before I bounced it, and I loved that thing.
And there was a period of time, right, where like when you early days we used stills lenses for video, and we used them manually. Then there was this period where we all started using other lenses, and then now that we're like have amazing autofocus, a lot of people are going back to photo lenses.
Yes,
and that lens
definitely.
is really starting to show its age.
All
right,
okay,
that's mine. There you go, Jem.
All right.
It's hitting the fan over here. I've got a client requesting ridiculous stuff that doesn't make any sense, but what are you going to do? It's life, and this is the life I chose.
You put your phone in your drink.
Number 2.
Number 2. And there goes the TV.
Hold on, Jess. I need that open. That's my light.
That's amazing.
Can we please? Thank. Okay, good. All right, here we go. So number 2. This is a broad category. I'm sorry I have to do this. I was sitting here this morning trying to think about what is it that I really didn't like in terms of production equipment, and I'm blanketing this with the category of sliders. I know that's a huge category.
No, cool.
I don't like sliders. I think that they are a freaking waste of time, and every single time I set them up, it's just not what I really want to get out of my footage.
Question.
That doesn't mean that. Yes, go ahead. I'm ready, Caleb.
Would you include Dana Dollies in that?
No,
Or are you
in fact,
like
that's a great question.
20...
So no, stop. So that's a great question. So right below my list right here of hating dollies, I mean sliders, not dollies, which has to do with time and ass and all that stuff, is Dana Dolly and also portable jibs. I love the Dana Dolly. I think it's a great product. In fact, we're going to Atlanta on Sunday, and one of our main pieces of kit is a Dana Dolly, and we're going to have it on a 4 or 5 foot piece of track. Love it. Love the way it works. Love the way it functions. It's all the other stuff. Fill in the blanks with the names of the companies that you want to fill in there. Forget about the sliders. I'm done with sliders. Bye-bye. And I like portable jibs. I think I can do really nice, interesting shots on a tripod with a portable jib. I've done far more interesting things shooting B-roll with portable jibs than I have with sliders. And I'm basically done. It's a game over for me. Sorry. End of game. That's
Interesting.
I concur almost completely, because just from a traveling point of view, it takes up a lot of it's a lot of weight. It's a lot
Yeah.
of your bag space because it's not just the slider. It's if you're needing stands to put the thing on, the amount of time, particularly from working on my own. No, I agree completely.
And I think I'm totally done with the whole parallax crap. I mean, like, I like parallax sometimes. I like it when you're on like a big drone or you know, you've got a nice dolly move and you're doing a nice, you know, like cinematic parallax, you know. But this the sliders going back and forth always on a parallax, I'm done. It's over. Sorry.
I only felt like you got one good cut out of that, and then it's like, well, now everybody knows there's just this thing just swinging around in the background. Eric Naso, welcome, good sir. Would love to hear your least favorite.
I don't see Eric. I don't see Eric on
Eric
here.
Naso, haha. Open the door. I need a light. We just got the Dana Dolly. Haven't used it.
Mine's been doing this. You keep needing to hit refresh on the feed.
Really?
It's being weird tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Where I not? Yeah,
it's happened to me a couple of times when it's all
Very
kind of
odd.
stalled, and then
No, I would agree. I haven't like, oh my goodness, this slider since around that 2012. I love the 51.4 era, except for the motorized stuff. That's different to me.
You like the iFootage stuff?
The iFootage thing is pretty amazing for what it is. I kind of moving up to the new Rhino gear. What do they call it? The Arc 2.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
I pre-ordered that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it and start to use it, and then be like, it's gonna be like another GoPro for me.
I hear you, but here's the thing with that.
Tell me.
It's the head. It's all about the head on that thing.
Yeah,
we can put a fully rigged out C200 on it. Forget the slider part. Just put that head on a tripod, and let's say you need to shoot, like I do product shots constantly for the channel. You set up a couple little repeatables, and boom, boom, boom. You're just flying through those.
Are you over cranking on that usually, like at the 60 or something like that? No, just regular 24.
24. Yep. I mean, you could over crank if you want.
I dig.
But if it's yeah, easy.
All right, so that's what I got. Now my alternatives are the Dana Dolly and the portable jib. No, I got it. I makes sense to me. All right, that's what I got for you.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Ben, round 3. Ding ding ding.
Wait. Can we acknowledge Larry here? He's saying, what about the Moses slide pod? Does that count as a slider? It looks really interesting to me. I'm pretty much going with my instinct that I was at NAB, and if I got it, I'd be like, I'm going to use it like once or twice, and then it's going to go into a case. That's what's going to happen.
I'm far less excited about that than I was in Vegas. Now, I have to say, I was, if they'd had that for sale there and then, I would have bought that without any shadow of a doubt. Right now, right now, probably not.
Yeah,
probably
I'm still
not.
holding on to like something. I feel like is the form factor. You can throw that in a bag with your light stands, and it takes up like no room.
Right.
And if you could mount it to I don't know. There's ways you could, I feel, use it, but if you use cameras with good autofocus, I feel like you could do some pretty interesting stuff. But would I drop 5? It's not on the top of the list for sure. That's all right, Ben, round 3. Least favorite gear item. Go.
So this is an odd one because these are not bad products in any way, shape, or form. I want to get that in before I get abuse for this one. But my little foray into the world of Sony A7 series cameras was, I think, a big mistake and something I regret doing. And I kind of got, I don't know, I felt like, we all know this guy, like the 60-year-old guy who leaves his wife of many years, his loyal, beautiful, loving wife, and goes off with his secretary because it's all exciting and new and shiny, and then goes back with his tail between his legs. I feel like Sony kind of did that, and going back to Canon has really felt like a completely.
Oh, so we're not talking just full frame mirrorless. We're talking.
No.
Are you talking like going? Your wife is a camcorder, or your wife is?
My wife's Canon.
Okay.
The Sony's the kind of the younger volley. Yeah, I think just you kind of there was so many features when those cameras came out, and you just went, oh, brilliant, because you're not getting 5-axis in-body stabilization at home here. You know, that's not even on your birthday.
5X's image stabilization at home. Oh man, that's got to go in the subtitle of this video or something. Wow.
So so that was sort of what that whole thing felt like to me. And I don't think I don't remember a single shoot that I did with any of those cameras. And they did great. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, but there was never anything that I ever got off them and went, wow, they didn't need loads of work to get them to a point. And and then coming back to Canon's felt with my tail between my legs, has felt like this is really I shouldn't have gone, and that's been kind of wasted time. Which is I don't know, it's a bit of a strange thing. They're great cameras, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with them whatsoever. And the amount of technology that those pack in, and for the money, they're amazing. They really are. For me, it has never felt like it never really produced the results that I wanted it to.
Interesting.
So,
nice. Huh.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. All right. So Sony cameras. Get the axe from
That's
Ben.
a big one.
Round
big
3.
One. Krispy Kreme 2012, and we've got I Want That on a T-shirt by Debt Free Homesteaders.
You're not getting 5X as soon as at home. That's so good.
It's the 6-axis that matters at home. It's all going downhill. This is going to be the cheekiest episode in a while for sure. Thank God we only have 49 people watching, because when we're in, goodness gracious.
And 360 grad isn't even here. How about that? Oh no, he's here.
No, he's here. He's being
here.
quiet. He's he's
talking about
learning.
Screws up there.
Yeah.
Small screws.
Oh my God.
Small rig. My bad.
Small. Caleb. You're up now, Caleb.
All right, here we go. So the big
is this number 3?
one. And after I gotta say, before I hit number 3, I totally am driving with all of y'all's stuff. I'm still like a Sony fan, but I do feel it, man. You know, I totally understand what you're talking about there, Ben. So, and Ben and Jem with the GoPro and the sliders. Good stuff. Sir. We're all on the same page. We're not.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not like our kit videos where, there's some stuff there. Number 3 for me.
Cheeky.
Least favorite gear. Is gonna have to be the Rode Video Mic Pro and the Rode Video Mic Go.
Here we go.
And if Rode, if you're watching, hang in there, okay? Because you guys make some great stuff. So here we go. Rode Video Mic Pro. I just think it sounds like somebody yelling in a cardboard box. Every time I've heard that microphone, and I've owned 2. I did the Mark 1. Great microphone at the time, and going back, I had the original Rode Video Mic, like their first version of this form factor. And they'll give you sound, and it won't sound terrible. But I just never liked the sound, and now there's so many better, in my opinion, alternatives. And the Rode Video Mic Go, I honestly don't know why they're still selling that microphone. I don't think there's any reason anybody should buy it. It is really quiet, very, very, very low gain compared to all their other microphones. So if you're on a Canon camera, that is not where you want to be. And it's $100. So I would definitely skip that and get the Micro. The Micro is a phenomenal microphone. I have 2 and love them. For the Pro, I'm saying skip that and get the Asden SMX15 or the Deity D3 Pro. I think it's a phenomenal microphone. I think it sounds better. It's louder. And I've done videos on all that stuff. So there you go. Skip the Go. No one should ever buy the Go. The Pro could be a great option for vloggers who want kind of a boomy, bassy. It's the Beats of microphones. Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre of microphones.
The Dr. Dre of microphones.
In my opinion.
Okay.
And yeah, the Go is amazing. I've been using it and I love it. And Rode still makes some great stuff. There's just a couple products that is a little mainstreamy. It's like using whatever headphones and then you realize that they're super colored or
Is that across the
whatever.
boards on any camera you've ever used them on, or is it
Pretty
specific
much.
to
It's just
okay.
the low end is just jacked up. And I suppose for the mass market, that's great because they're not going to touch their sound. But cars, traffic, AC units, all of it is louder on those microphones because it's so heavily boosted.
Okay.
It's not clean, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
That's my number
Fair
3.
enough.
Okay.
Nice.
Mr. Jem. What do we got?
So, again, I'm going into an overall category as opposed to a specific product. And I think this just has to do a lot with my experience as a producer / director on projects. And also, maybe it's just my aversion to the product category, but I am not a big fan of small drones with small built-in camera systems. I find that in general in production, and I think this goes back to what Ben was talking about earlier on in the show, is kind of like GoPros. I never feel like I'm getting exactly what I want out of a small drone system and the quality of what I'm getting. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that when you're using those types of products, you have to use them in ideal conditions to get great results. And as soon as those conditions are not ideal, then what you're getting out of a smaller drone is not fantastic. So I am definitely very similarly to where I was saying I don't really like sliders, but I like the Dana Dolly and portable jibs and things like that. I do not have an aversion to drones as a type of production product, but I definitely lean more towards now that I've had them on productions, larger drone systems with dedicated camera systems. Now, I've never used the Zenmuse X7 from DJI on a drone, and that is an interchangeable lens system, essentially raw based camera that I would probably be happy with, but unless I go into a mirrorless camera system and I have more control over it, I've just never been super happy. And part of it may also have to do, and very much have to do, with the operators of the camera systems, because that makes a huge difference. So that's my third.
So on that, so Jago, who is in here quite often but isn't at the moment because he's up in Western Scotland, I guess with no internet, on a job this week. But Jago is the guy that I use for drone stuff quite frequently, and we were using what's the big DJI one? Not the big one.
The 600.
No, the one that's still got the integrated camera system. It's got the Zenmuse camera system, the Inspire 2. And he then bought the Mavic Pro, the new one, and we honestly now use that all the time. The image of it, I find, is fantastic. And the other trade-off for that is because we get a lot more stuff with it. We'll put it up in the air. It's so fast to set up, like seconds, and the thing's in the air, rather than with the other one, you need to take it out of the case. We're doing a lot of stuff where we're having to carry things around and we're maybe not able to park that close to where we're launching. We get so much more out of it, and I'm blown away by the image off that thing for how small it is. It's incredible. And not just in amazing, super bright light in sort of dusk, dawn kind of situations as well. Really, really impressed. So I'm, of an opposing view on that one. Certainly with that one, I don't know about any other smaller models, but that is just surprises me every time we get footage off it, how good it is.
Interesting. Well, I think it has a lot to do with your operator and what they can get out of the system.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are our 3, ladies and gentlemen. We'd love to hear from you guys. If there's any, I'm looking through the comments here. Canon and Sony, man, that's such a thing, man. That's been talked about so much recently. It's amazing.
Yeah, if I had John Romer on the Mavic 2 Pro, that would be different. But yeah, I think again it does come down to operator. Sorry about that, Caleb. I'm just reading some of the comments. Go. Yep.
Canadian drone laws for sure. Wild, David. I saw part of Peter McKinnon's video recently.
Oh, I watched that too. Yeah, basically you can't. Yeah, brutal. You're done. It's a done deal.
Yep. The end.
In Canada.
Yeah, it's like you have to pretty much be a pilot now to fly drones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, do we want to get into you had some honorary mentions there, Jem.
I do. I mean,
I liked your idea of like doing categories, because there's ones for me like gimbals. I have a Zion Crane original version 1. Never use it ever.
I use it all the
Never
time.
bought another one.
That's interesting. I have a pilot.
Not once.
I have a pilot fly, and I hated their software implementation. And I got the Crane, and I was like, I'm in.
As a gimbal, it's amazing. But I'm saying in general, I'm just so sick. I never was into like, let's make everything floaty, wonderful shots. It's cool.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I've always been more like, like use other cinematic movements using that instead of like the I'm running around the bride shots.
Yeah, well, and it's particularly in corporate stuff as well now that there's so much stuff that has there's no narrative to anything. That's what it is. It's just a montage of drone and gimbal shots. That's it. And I'm
pretty for sure.
On the project we're doing in Atlanta, we've decided that on the A camera we're switching between a Dana dolly for the intros for the talent, and then we're going to move to a Steadicam Ronin 2 setup with the C200 for the stuff that's the BTS footage, because then we can move around and actually see what the person's doing as the educator. So there's a thought process behind it. Part of it's driven by, what the overall project is and the way they're thinking about doing that. But that's the way we're going to do it. Intros to camera with the Dana dolly with A camera, B camera on hands and product. And then we switch A camera to the Steadicam. So we handle this axis. And then we also have the Ronin to handle the other 3 axes. So that's the way we're doing that. I think
Larry, I just pick up on that question. Any opinions on DJI Osmo Pocket for spur of the moment shooting? It's remarkably good, that thing. But you need light for it. But I used it on an offshore gig recently because, again, I'm on my own. I can't take gimbals. I need to carry everything and have one hand free. So we took that and did loads of time lapse with it, which it's fantastic for. It's amazing for that. And its day to night time lapse functionality is just incredible in really difficult lighting situations with the sun coming in and out of clouds in frame. Blown away by it really for that, but also just for kind of those little bits of movement, just an odd shot here and there. I've not cut that job, so I don't know how well it's cutting into other things. But for the money and for that thing to have in your pocket, it's £350. I guess it'll be the same in dollars. It's really, really impressive. And the firmware is updated all the time. So all the niggles, if you go and watch the reviews, like Gerald's review's great on it. He did a lot of tests with it, but it was the version 1 firmware. And now almost everything that he was griping about in that has been fixed. It's really good. And the Pro mode, so you don't need to have your phone attached to it anymore. You can put in full manual control just on that little tiny touch screen. Nice. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. So you just need that and a set of ND filters for it, and you're good to go. It's great.
Good to know. Travis. Travis. Wait, where'd it go? Worst Roadlink filmmaker kit or DJI Osmo. Well, Ben just talked about the DJI Osmo. I don't know much about it. If I don't use gimbals, I'm not going to use an Osmo.
The original one was rubbish, but.
And then Roadlink filmmaker kit, I think, is still potentially a good option. It's getting tougher now. I mean, I think the Rode Go, Wireless Go, is incredible. The Rode Roadlink filmmaker kit is maybe getting a little long in the tooth. If they came out with an updated version or updated it somehow, or created a new version that could handle 2 transmitters, I think it worked well, and a lot of people switched to it. I still have mine, and it still works. So I wouldn't say worst. I think what Tommy said down here, the cheap wireless ones, just skip that whole mess. The cheapest you should be buying is this Rode Wireless Go, and then up from there, you're spending $400 or more for the DD setup, Sennheiser G3 or 4, whatever they're at now, and then Roadlink, I think.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with that other stuff. That's bad stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. John said he's had the Roadlink work in spaces where the Sennheiser G3 or AVX couldn't hold the signal.
Interesting.
I would agree with that. The G2 and G3s, you're just going to be fighting that, searching for.
It is hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Brutal.
See, I've
These
used the G3s for years and love it. I've never have any issue with that at all. Never
My
once.
G2 was the same way until, I don't know. Just we have so much going on now.
But I wonder if, because you guys are on different frequencies as well, to whatever. So the European ones, I wonder if it works better in Europe than it does in the US. But I mean,
that's possible.
And we were filming in shipyards recently, so on rigs and with loads of there's just marine traffic. There's all sorts going on. There's Wi-Fi signals, which is on different frequencies, but there's so much radio traffic around there, and it's always finding masses of clear banks and never an issue at all.
Well, I'm pretty much across the board Sony UWP system.
Yeah.
For blocks and frequency ranges. And then I'm primarily using the Wireless Go for, just small kind of mirrorless stuff like this when I'm on the road. And I'll use the other things here and there, but that's sort of what I've settled on for my systems. So, yeah.
And the Sonys, those are traditional frequencies, right?
They are, and they've just announced at NAB that they're coming out with sort of a version 2 where they're making the product slightly smaller. So it's getting a little bit more compact. And it was nowhere near as big as some of the other systems out there. But I think they're looking at Electrosonics and how small their units are, and they have to compete with, how big those body packs are and stuff like that. So I think it's a smart move, but
nice.
Very reliable, super reliable. Should I do a couple of honorable mentions?
Yeah,
just quick?
Please.
I'm just going to throw out, it's not going to be a long list here. So basically, I hate multi-socket compact fluorescent fixtures. Garbage. I hate them. Let me just say that. Anything HDMI, even though I'm forced to use it, I hate it. Okay, so that's a blanket thing. And then I also pretty much loathe reflectors without handles, because what the heck am I going to do with them? I need to mount them to something. So stop making reflectors without handles. Those are my 3 honorable mentions. That's what
interesting. Very interesting.
That's what happens at 6 o'clock in the morning when you're waking up and saying you have to come up with something for Camera and Flask.
No, that's good. Those are all good. Anything to add? Do you think of anything, Ben, since we've been talking that struck a chord?
Grip head to 2 hard edges. I've just dropped one on my kitchen floor as we were setting up for this, caused a massive dent in the floor, and then potentially my marriage. We'll see. I'm gonna lot of trouble. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So softer grip heads. That's what we need.
Soft grips. Ooh, soft grip heads. That's
soft grip heads and soft edges.
Start a company making gel, like the camera
jelly
body,
grips.
like
jelly grips. Yeah.
I can't believe no one's come up with this already.
That's a good.
This is amazing. This could be maybe one of our future episodes of Camera and Flash should be products that should be, and we should envision products that are evolution.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh come on,
I've got
should we do it?
Yes.
I know.
For sure.
We should do
Maybe
this.
that's next week. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Bingo.
Not next week. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much,
time.
Mr. Ben Barden. So next week I am in.
That was
next
a segue.
Week, no, I'm reading Kyle's comment about using the new aperture lights in those fixtures, which might be interesting, but that's fine. In fixtures where you're using the compact fluorescent, swirly little lights. So next week, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm going to be on location, and it's going to be like 30 people next Wednesday, and it's just going to be a shit show, let's be honest. It's going to be a cluster, other word, following that. So next week, we've already talked about this, gentlemen. It's going to be a rare week off for all of us for Camera and Flask. And we will pick up again 2 weeks from today, which will be Wednesday, January 3rd, the day before Independence Day here in the United States of America. And I just wanted to mention that to let everybody know. And then the three of us will come up with a good topic. And maybe it will be something like the future of what products should be. And boy, I want to talk about that kind of stuff for sure. That's what I got.
Bingo.
Caleb. Yep.
And just like that, the clock struck 6.
And the pitter patter of the little
here
children.
in Central, and excuse me, 7 Eastern time.
Yes.
And just like that, folks, that's another one in the books. Episode 32. I'm a
32.
mess today.
No,
32.
Me too. More so
32 weeks we've done this. Can you believe that, guys?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone who joined us. A couple names that are less familiar to me. I'm glad to have you guys here. Make sure you subscribe.
Absolutely.
Hit the bell notification so you get the little ping. Hey, there's a new episode of Camera and Flask every single Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Anything on our way out, gentlemen?
Wednesday, July 3rd, next episode. So just you've got a week off next week. If you drink next Wednesday, that's up to you. We're not going to judge you. That's all I have to say. And Ben? God,
nothing. You just look after yourself.
This lighting is amazing.
You just don't get all too Vegasy. Keep calm. Don't want you getting turfed out of anywhere. Just pace yourself, my friend, and enjoy.
I'll be
turfed out. That's a new one for me.
All right. Too. Me too.
And with that, we're gonna end the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Love you all, and we'll see you 2 weeks.
Love you too, guys.
Now.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.